Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This here is Blistered Blood of Studio Limit Break, bringing to you a new Let's Play of Portal for the PC. Now, this is a bit of an interesting one, especially for me, since how this is basically my first outing, well, in a group project, So I figured, what the hell, I figured I might as well give him a little bit of a treat and say, hey, I'm going to be doing this game, if you guys don't mind. To which, nobody's covered this one, at least on this channel anyway. Anyways, we begin by being released from the relaxation vault, and I don't know what I was doing there. I guess I was just being goofy and shit like that, so I figured I might as well flush that toilet and you get that little voice clip there. Anyways, Portal was released from Valve in 2007, I think this was. Basically, what this is this is that... bleh! Figures, I'm the new guy and I make a mistake already. Anyways, this game was released by Valve in 2007, like I said, in that it's not your everyday standard fair first-person shooter. What this is that this is actually a first-person puzzle platformer. Bit of a risky move, in my opinion, especially when you're talking about Valve and their recent outings. It's a bit of a departure from some of their, like I said, their standard fare FPSs like Half-Life and Left 4 Dead, but it's still perhaps one of the best ones that I've ever played. At least in my opinion, anyway. Anyways, what else is there for me to talk about already? And I don't know why I'm sort of brain farting like this, but hey, you know, it's the first outing on my own in a group setting, so I figured, why not? Like I said. Now, first-time players may get a little bit spun around in navigating these portals, but once you start figuring out where to go, you won't end up having to do 50-part playthroughs, unlike a certain YouTube whore. I just mean. Anyways, now that I've offended quite a few of you, yeah. How about them Bruins, huh? Oh boy.
Well, please be advised that a noticeable taste of blood is not part of any test protocol, but is an...
I see what you did there, Gladys. I see what you did there. Don't think I don't know what you were going with there. But I won't spoil it for you, so that way you guys can figure it out for yourself as to what happens towards the middle section of this game. Now, when I think about it like this game is actually surprisingly short. More experienced players might be able to knock this out in like about maybe under an hour or so, but that's probably if they were also speedrunning it. Unfortunately, I decided to play it properly and like a quote-unquote professional. Then again, what the hell am I talking about? Nobody's a professional player of anything these days. Well, unless maybe you're proving your skills in a tournament, but that's a bit of a different story.
Please proceed to the chamber lock. Mind the gap. Well done. Remember, the Aperture Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested.
The dialogue in this game is pretty goofy at times, I'll admit. But I suppose one of the questions that I've had is regards to why people usually take these bits of dialogue and convert them into some sort of a goofy-ass meme that winds up being something on the line winds up being something along the lines of Skyrim in terms of notoriety. But hey, that's probably just me bitching and complaining. But hey, that's what it is.
As part of a required test protocol, we will not monitor the next test chamber. You will be entirely on your own. Good luck.
Now, I suppose there are a few other questions that I have in relating to this game, like, especially in Portal 2. We never really got a definitive answer as to how this ties into the Half-Life 2 in the Half-Life universe. But strangely enough, it does have tie-ins. It's just not specified how. I guess we'll find out at some point when Gabe Newell finally decides to unveil Half-Life 3 or Portal 3 at some point. But I guess that's a bit of a different topic for a different story. And yeah, I know there was a little bit of lag there in regards to the footage here, but you know, Fraps is being a bit of a prick to me. I mean, I'll have to find something else for that. Aha. Like I said, I see what you did there. And then again, this whole game, in my honest opinion, is a giant I see what you did there. Especially for this little bit that's coming up.
You. Subject name here. Must be the pride of. Subject hometown here.
So I must be better than my whole hometown of Providence, Rhode Island, huh? Okay, you're the boss. Like I said, but then again, when I think about it, I don't know. And like I said, there goes my recorder acting stupid again. I have no idea why, but for a game that's running on an engine that's as old as this one, you would think that perhaps I would get some decent recordings, right? Well, there you have. Excuse me. There you have it. There. And now that I mentioned engines, this game is running on the Source engine, which is pretty much the same sort of a deal that you would find from the Half-Life series. Well, the newer ones, I should say. Because the original Half-Life was running on the Quake 3 engine, or the Quake engine in general. Sorry if I goofed that up, but hey, well. Now, this game, as I mentioned, can be a little bit tricky for newcomers that are just getting into the series, especially if you're wanting to know what Portal is about. Portal, in my honest opinion, is basically, or actually no, this is not an opinion, as it is pretty much a given fact. Portal is a first-person puzzle platformer, as I mentioned. Uh, where you're starting out just figuring out where to go, like a rat in a maze, so to speak. As I mentioned before, the average person may take about maybe 2 hours at least in order to get through the puzzles. I mean, not for nothing, this game can get incredibly tricky at points. But once you start having yourself a little bit of an aha moment, you'll be able to blow through this in about an hour or so. And if you're really good at it, you might be able to pass through it in about maybe 50 minutes. Can't believe I ran out of things to talk about here, but well, like I said, this is only part one. There's always part two. Unfortunately, that won't be coming up until relatively soon. Favorite part coming up after this after this part. Blah. My English is terrible. But hey, so long as I'm having fun with this and enjoying myself, yeah, yeah. Enjoying a video game nowadays is pretty much a lost art when you think about it. I mean, you got all these rules and regulations and shit trying to bear down on you, and the Xbox One just being total ass and whatever. But that's a bit of a different subject that'll cover at some other point. Now, this part of the puzzle, I'm sorry, this part of the game may definitely trip up some new players, and especially even veteran players like myself. Like, especially during one recording of this part, I actually got a little bit stuck in the acid when I was trying to balance myself out on that little ledge that's on the rail, and it basically screwed the poocha for me because I wound up dying in the acid every time it would load up that particular quick save, which was a bit of a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie about that. But then afterwards, I figured I might as well throw out that recording and do a new one, which is what you see here. Now, impatient types may accidentally get in front of that energy ball that's bouncing back and forth in this particular room. But if you're patient about it, you will be able to clear this puzzle with absolutely minimal trouble. Now, previously we had gotten the blue portal gun, which allows us to shoot blue portals, and in this part we get the modification to the portal gun, which allows us to shoot two portals, each of them connecting to each other at where you've painted the wall with them. And there we go. Press that button there and shoot up that wall, turn around and shoot a portal there, and you should be good to go. Unfortunately, you're going to have to wait a bit for that platform to come back, which is, like I said before, it's a bit of a pain in the ass if you're an impatient type and you're just wanting to get through this game as quick as possible. But then again, when you think about it like this, there's really no quick way to get about through these particular test chambers. Like, you really do have to be a little bit patient and think your way through. I mean, they didn't coin the phrase think with portals for nothing. At least in Portal 2, anyway. Now, another thing you may have noticed throughout this game is that you may have seen little radios popping up every once in a while, or you may even hear a distinctive little song playing somewhere. I'm guessing this is probably tying into the fact that I've been solving every puzzle is relatively quicker than most people can do. And I guess there's a bit of an achievement tied into this, but I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to do a little bit of investigation on this on my own. Now, it's funny I even think about this, because in the Xbox Live version of this, called Portal Still Alive, there's a bit of an achievement there where you can that you can earn just by going through blue portals only. I find it funny that that it would be there and not in this version of a portal, but technicalities. What do you? Now, like I said, sometimes the dialogue in this game can be a little bit funny at times. But hey, that's Valve for you. They sometimes put in some relatively humorous moments in the game, and especially in the first Half-Life. But that's a bit of a different story for another time.
Now that you are in control of both portals, this next test could take a very, very long time. If you become lightheaded from thirst, feel free to pass out. An intubation associate will be dispatched to revive you with...
Well, we're coming up on the 15-minute mark on this playthrough, so I guess what I can do here is that I will cut this here, and we will see you in part 2 with more of Portal. Enjoy the rest of the footage, folks.